What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. Today we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson's whole contract situation. Now, maybe about a week or two ago, it was reported that Deshaun Watson was looking at not giving a long-term deal with the Houston Texans as of right now. He was looking at a short-term deal, possibly at maybe a 3-year deal at this moment, not willing to commit long-term to the Houston Texans right now at this moment. And I'm not going to lie, when I first seen the report, I had, mixed emotions and mixed feelings about the situation. I'm like, man, that really didn't sound too good, especially being a Texan fan. As a Texan fan, what can go wrong will go wrong. That's how we feel, especially being seeing the history of this franchise for the past couple of years. But I'm sitting there thinking, and as I sat back and thought about it, I'm like, you know what? This makes absolute sense. It really does. And it makes perfect sense for Deshaun Watson. Like, for multiple reasons. And I'm about to talk about two of them. But this actually is the best play for Deshaun Watson. And it's actually a very smart, shrewd move. About only committing short term right now in this moment with the Texans. We're going to talk about it. We're going to explain why. All right, start off the bat. Okay, everybody was waiting on the big domino to fall, and that was basically at this point in time Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was a franchise tag. Deshaun was waiting on whatever Dak got from a long-term contract standpoint, because whatever Dak got, that was going to at least $1 million to $2 million more would have been the starting point for Deshaun Watson's contract negotiation. So since Dak only signed the franchise tag, even though he has to the 15th to sign a long-term deal, that's basically the starting point. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 31 and a half, 32, no more than 30, 32 and a half, 33 million that Dak will get for the franchise tag. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 31 and some change that he will get this year. So that gives, that basically gave, since he signed the franchise tag, that basically gave Deshaun and his camp the green light. Let's go ahead and start these contract negotiations. And Deshaun's looking at it to this standpoint like this. Deshaun Watson knows that if he signs a long-term deal, if he signs a 4 to 5 year deal, he's going to be stuck. Because this is the reason why. Deshaun and both Patrick Mahomes are both eligible for a contract right now. Whenever Deshaun gets paid, the following week, 2 weeks, month at the most probably, Patrick Mahomes is going to get more money than that. Then a year or two from now, Lamar Jackson is going to oversee whatever Patrick Mahomes got. And Deshaun Watson is looking at a situation like, you know what, I could be in a situation where in the next 2 to 3 years, I could win a Super Bowl or two, a league MVP or two, and end up being the third, if not the fourth, possibly the fifth highest paid quarterback instead of being one or two if I sign a long-term deal. Because think about this. He still is under his rookie deal now. Next year he's under his fifth year option. So his new contract extension won't go into effect until 2022. So say, for instance, if he wins a Super Bowl or two or a league MVP or two within the next 2 to 3 years, that means he's only going to be in year one of a 5-year deal being underpaid. While you have both Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, possibly if all the weapons that Denver got, if Drew Luck steps up and emerges as some type of player, if Kyler Murray, if he emerges, especially with having Hopkins and also Cliff Kingsbury as the head coach, things like that. You never know what's going to happen with Dak plays under the franchise tag for the next 2 years and then gets a contract exceeding that. So there's a potential that Deshaun Watson can end up being, like I said, second, instead of being the second highest paid quarterback, being the third, the fourth, possibly the fifth highest paid quarterback, and having more accolades at that junction in time. But Deshaun's like, whoa, hold up. From what everybody's telling me that the way this offense is set up is supposed to fit my skill sets now. This offense is set up for me more perfectly. It's more of a Clemson-style offense than the offense I've had before. So I'm able to rack up numbers. I'm able to do stuff. I'm able to shine. So you trying to tell me that I can have career seasons and end up being paid less than market value because of the way the contracts are flowing, and me to sign a long-term deal right now at this juncture when I could just sign a 3-year deal and put the pressure that I could be able to get a contract extension sooner? Whoa. I mean, because the thing about this, I seen a stat earlier that's saying that Deshaun Watson led the NFL with most completions 30 yards or more. He had 33. Second was Jameis Winston at 31, and Patrick Mahomes was third at 30. He led the NFL with 33 completions over 30 yards or more. We got all the speed now. We got Will Fuller, we got Kenny Stills, we got Cooks and stuff like that. For some strange reason, AB to the Texans have been trending all day today for some strange reason. I don't really know exactly what that's to do. I haven't really dug too much into that, but that's trending. So that's even a possibility, even not really, but who knows. And sidebar, I know before I was against bringing in AB back when we had Hopkins, but because of the receiver situation that we have and also the injury that we have in receivers, like Kenny Stills probably is the most reliable from a health standpoint, and he even missed time last year. That I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in AB just to help him bring in more receiver depth, but that's a conversation for another video. But I just want to throw that out there since it is trending. But just you add all these things up, and you sitting there talking about, okay, well, if that's the case, I should be able to shine. I should be able to get league MVPs and Super Bowl championships, Super Bowl appearances because of my talent, because of my skill set. Deshaun Watson's also one Pro Bowl away from having the most Pro Bowls as a quarterback. Him and Matt Schaub both are tied with 2 Pro Bowls. If Deshaun Watson makes a Pro Bowl, he will have more Pro Bowls as a starting quarterback than any starting quarterback in franchise history. Now I know this is a small sample size. The franchise ain't been around 20 years, but there is something to say. Also, if Deshaun Watson throws for 4,000 yards, he will pass David Carr and will be the second all-time leader on passing yards, right behind Matt Schaub. So there's a lot of things. A lot of things will fall within the next year for Deshaun Watson to definitely even cement him even more in a 3-year, 4-year span that he's the franchise guy. So you got to pay this man like he's the franchise guy, but you don't want to shortchange him, and that's why he's sitting there looking like I'm not about to shortchange myself because there's a real possibility if I sign a 5, possibly 6. I even heard a 7-year deal offer. I've even heard of them offering him, both Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes, getting offered 7, 8, and I've heard Pat getting offered maybe a potential 10-year deal. Things like that, these long deals. And these organizations are not dumb. What they're trying to do, they're trying to lock in these franchise guys because they know Lamar Jackson and other guys are going to be getting contracts and the contract's going to keep going up and up. They don't really want to sign no short-term deal. And Deshaun's taking the page out of Larry Tunsil's book because Larry Tunsil did the right thing. He's the highest paid left tackle. He's the highest paid left tackle on the shorter deal. He's going to be able to come back in another year or two. Like, hey, re-up me. Especially if this offense is shining. If Deshaun Watson shining is being protected by Larry Tunsil. Remember, Larry Tunsil made his first career Pro Bowl last year as a Texan. Let Larry Tunsil become get more Pro Bowls, get some All-Pro accolades, things of that nature. All right, now his contract situation is going to go up because he signed a shorter-term deal. So he's going to be able to get a big-ass contract down the road. And that's what Deshaun's looking at. Deshaun's like, okay, if I sign a 3-year deal, by the time my deal is up, from a contract standpoint, by the time my deal is up, I'm only going to be 29. I won't even be 30 yet. Then I can go out there and get this huge-ass 8-year contract, 9-year contract for a long period of time and locked up for the 400 million type, like this just monstrous, groundbreaking, record-setting deal. I can do it with that check. I can do it with that payday, and I already got compensated handsomely for the previous 3 years. Not to mention, like what I just said, if he turns out and gets you a Super Bowl, a couple, or MVP, or a couple within the next couple years, while you in year 1. Because like I said, if he wins a Super Bowl or 2 or MVP or 2 within the next 3 years, he would be in year 1 of a 3-year extension, which means he'll be able to re-up that following summer. But if he's in year 1 of a 5-year extension, he got to wait a while. He got to wait another 2-3 years before he can even be eligible for a contract. Because I think you have to be, have like 2 years. They can redo deals anytime they want to, but only time people are really eligible and really contract situations really start going is when somebody has 2 or 1 years left on the deal. People really don't go after. That's part of the reason the whole thing with Hopkins, because he had 3 years left on his deal. But as we seen, Arizona gave Hop no contract, right? Arizona as Arizona gave. I haven't heard Arizona giving Hop a contract yet. Most people don't get contracts within 3 years left on the deal. It normally be 2 at the most, mostly 1 year left in the deal, or right when it's their last year on the deals when people start getting contract extensions. So that's what Deshaun's looking at. If I win a Super Bowl or 2 within the next couple of years on a 3-year deal, I'll be right on line that boom, I can win the Super Bowl. Hey, hand me my money. I got 2 years left on my deal. Let's get back at this table. Let's talk right now. Now let's talk about this 8-year extension for such and such dollars. And now I've already seen what Patrick Mahomes got. I've seen what Lamar Jackson's got. I've seen what this quarterback has got. And I've seen what that quarterback has gotten. Now I can get this big ass number. That's the power play that Deshaun's looking at. And it's a smart move. It's an extremely smart move. Yes, he's banking on himself, but he knows his own talent. And he knows, even though, don't get me wrong, don't get twisted, I know he'd rather have Hopkins. I would rather have Hopkins. But he's looking at all these different pieces around him. I can spread the ball and do all this other type of stuff. I got all these big plays downfield. I can get numbers and yards by the bunches. I could rack up numbers and rack up Pro Bowls, rack up All Pros, rack up MVP stats. Like I told y'all, I feel that this is going to be probably his best season of his career coming up this year. I think he's going to be a cerebral assassin. He's going to be able to assassinate defenses cerebrally. I think that he's going to have an MVP type season. If he does not win MVP, he would damn sure be in the top 2 as far as MVP voting. He's going to be, I believe that this is going to be one of those monstrous ass seasons. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws for like 4,800 yards, 40-some. That's actually my prediction, like 4,800 yards, over 40-some touchdowns from a passing standpoint, 7-8 touchdowns from a rushing standpoint, over 500-600 yards rushing. I think he's going to have a very, very monster-ass season. And you don't want to do that and have 7 years left on your contract because you signed a 5-year deal and you're still under your rookie deal and a 5th-year option. You would rather have all this success but only have 3 years left. That's where you be able to go up there, sit back at the table 2 years from now and be like, hand me my money. Hand me my money. I hand my money. Now, the other thing that makes more sense about this is that this makes Deshaun Watson, this puts the ball on Deshaun Watson's courts. This gives him all the leverage, and it gives him a Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, James Harden type power play, an NBA type power play, which means he has all control. He has all say so. Because if he's racking up numbers, he's putting together Pro Bowls and All Pros, and he's having monstrous seasons, but the defense ain't doing his job. Bill O'Brien's making bad coaching decisions. He's making bad in-game coaching decisions, costing them games. He's making bad free agent signings as a general manager, making boneheaded trades as a general manager like he's been doing. He can walk in the Cal's office like, look, it's either him or me. And like, there's nothing you can do. Like, I'm like, because if he signs a 5-year, 6-year deal, he basically stuck. He can ask for a trade all he wants to, but he's basically stuck under contract. You put the pressure on the Texas organization that they have to win. They have to get this right. They have to get free agent signs right. They have to get draft picks right. They have to get coaching decisions right. They have to get this right, or else I'm out of here. What you gonna do? Franchise tag me? That's cool. You can franchise tag me. I don't have to sign the franchise tag. You can franchise tag me in 3 years. I don't have to sign it. And if I don't sign it, you can't fine me for not showing up to OTAs and minicamps. You can't fine me for not playing games because I'm not under contract. I didn't sign the franchise tag. I don't have to sign the franchise tag. So putting the pressure on you to either let me go or trade me. Or better yet, just get this organization right. Because I can't win with this dude. I love the city of Houston. I love my teammates. I love the fans out here. I even respect him as a man. I cannot win with him though. You seen what he's doing. You seen what he was doing 4 or 5 years before I got here. I'm the one that made him even look better than what he was. It's either him or me. So he could put NBA type pressure on Cal McNair and on the Texas organization to get this whole thing right. And I'm sitting there like, that's exactly what it's all about. That's the complete power play that both him and Larry Tunsil were doing. Think about this. Not only if they both get 3-year deals, both Deshaun and Larry Tunsil will both be around the same. Like, it's only a year difference. Not to mention Will Fuller, and we're gonna see exactly what Will Fuller does going forward this season. If Will Fuller, and I think that Will Fuller is probably gonna take a team friendly deal, uh, unless he plays all season. That's why I think that the Texans will probably try to sign Fuller mid season, especially if he's balling mid season. They're gonna try to lock him up then. That way he don't the number don't get too big for him. There's a potential point that both Deshaun, Larry Tunsil, and even Will Fuller all could have contract situations ending around the same time. So basically, they all three are married to each other at the hip. More importantly, Deshaun Watson and Larry Tunsil, because that's the guy who's going to be protecting Deshaun Watson's blind side as the left tackle, and Deshaun Watson, the franchise quarterback. And if they both on the same page, on the same wavelength, as far as we only going in getting 3-year deals, we putting the pressure on the organization to win. We gonna hold the ball in the bargain. Larry Tunsil, you go out there, get all Pro Bowl type accolades and be regarded as the best left tackle. Deshaun, you go win games. You bring me MVPs. You bring me Super Bowl titles. We putting the pressure on this organization that we out here shining. Left tackle shining, quarterback shining. But the head coach ain't doing what he supposed to be doing. The general manager / head coach ain't doing what he supposed to be doing. It's either him or us. You got to pick one, because it ain't going to work. It's not working the way it's going right now. That's the type of pressure that both Deshaun and Larry Tunsil are both putting on Bill O'Brien and the Texans organization by offering these 3-year deals. That's why I think it's perfect. Like I said, at first, I had mixed emotions about it. I'm like, because, you think of it as a Texan fan, you already know things like, man, Deshaun don't want to be here. We didn't trade Hopkins. Oh, man, Deshaun gonna leave, man. Deshaun gonna be a Patriot, man. Deshaun trying to get back to Atlanta. I've been, just the craziest things running through your mind. Like, he ain't trying to commit long term. But I sat back and thought about it. I'm like, no, ain't got nothing to do with that. Deshaun's actually doing the best thing for himself and his family, because he could sit there and get hog-tied into this big long-term ass contract and be stuck, and what I mean stuck, not stuck in the organization, but also, like, he could be out here balling, hooping, winning, and seeing everybody out there get outpaid more than him, who don't deserve it. Now, as of right now, both Patrick Mahomes has the league MVP and the Super Bowl championship. So nobody's going to argue with Patrick Mahomes being the highest paid quarterback. Lamar Jackson, at this time, in this juncture, has an MVP. Nobody's going to argue, even if you feel that Deshaun Watson is better. I do. I feel Deshaun is better than Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson does have a league MVP. He does have that accolade over Deshaun Watson. So you can say that about those guys. But if Deshaun Watson goes out there within the next couple of years and beats both these guys, remember, week 1 and week 2 is against both of these opponents. So we're going to see early on that Deshaun is 1-1 against Pat, 0-1 against Lamar. We're going to see by week 3 exactly where Deshaun stands, not to mention, even though I know this regular season, and then this year is all funky with no OTAs, and there's going to be excuses thrown and all that type of stuff like that. I get that. But if Deshaun's bringing you multiple Super Bowl championships or multiple MVPs, if not both, he definitely deserves to be compensated for it. But then you're going to allow people like Kyler Murray, Kyler Murray's going to have the benefit of basically just being so young and having all these weapons and having Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach, that I'm able to get paid just because I'm the next guy. Because we know how the NFL contracts work. It's never who's the best guy who's the highest paid. It's always who's the next guy to re-up. I remember one point in time, Matthew Stafford was the highest paid quarterback. Matthew Stafford has never even won a playoff game. But at one point, he was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Hopkins was highest paid receiver, and then like a month later, Mike Evans. Even though I like Mike Evans, but then Mike Evans became the highest paid receiver over Hopkins. Mike Evans has never been regarded as being better than Hopkins. So even when JJ was the highest paid defensive player, I think it didn't take long. Forgot who was. I don't know if it was Indomitians. Somebody else got paid like recently, like right after JJ got paid. Like the following year, somebody else got a big ass contract that outpaid JJ. And after JJ got paid, what happened? JJ got paid, and then that following year, he was defensive league. He was the defensive MVP. Defensive player of the year. That's the year he had like touchdowns from as far as he had a pick six and a fumble recovery. Had touchdowns from catching from the tight end standpoint. The year he should have won damn near league MVP was the year after. It was the year he got paid, and then somebody else the following season got paid higher than him just because he was next guy to get re-up. So that's the type of conversation. That's the type of situation Deshaun doesn't want to fall into. Deshaun doesn't want to get paid, have a monster ass season, and then see Kyler Murray or Drew Lock or Baker Mayfield or even Dak Prescott, because he doesn't have a deal yet. He just has a franchise tag, get paid more than him. He's like, no, I'm not about to settle for that. So it makes perfect sense for Deshaun Watson to go out there for this point in this juncture, sign a 3-year deal, makes damn near fully guaranteed, kind of like what Kirk Cousins did, fully guaranteed contract, and get compensated nicely, get compensated how you're supposed to get compensated for. Go out there and ball, and then in 2 years, now give me this 8-year deal. Now give me this 9-10-year deal. Now you can pay me. Now you can pay me, and I'm married to the city. Now you can give me this record-breaking deal, because I done sat at the table, I done seen what everybody else got. I want more. That's exactly how you gonna do it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I holla.